Roman Reigns said Fatu wasn't ready, and now Fatu is daring anyone to prove it. That moment matters because it shifts Fatu from enforcer to contender, and more importantly, it forces the entire bloodline to respond in real time. Fatu came to the ring with a clear message. He reminded everyone that he told Roman he didn't just want the title, he needed it. Then he did something unexpected. He admitted Roman might be right. Fatu said he has heard his whole life that he isn't ready, and instead of rejecting it, he challenged it head-on. He reminds everyone that he told Roman Reigns he wanted him. Not casually, not as a passing statement, but directly face-to-face. And then he adds something that reframes the entire situation. He says he doesn't want the title. He needs it. That distinction is important. Wanting something is optional. Needing something suggests identity, purpose, even survival in a competitive environment like WWE. It tells you that this isn't about status for Fatu. It's about validation. Then he reveals Roman's response. Roman looked him in the eye and told him he's not ready. Now, in most wrestling promos, this is where defiance kicks in. This is where the challenger rejects the criticism and pushes back. But Fatu doesn't do that. Instead, he says Roman is right. And for a moment, that lands differently. Because Fatu doesn't stop there. He expands on it. He says that his entire life, he's been told he's not ready. That this isn't a new critique. It's a recurring theme. This is where the promo becomes less about Roman Reigns and more about Fatu as a character. He's not arguing against the narrative. He's acknowledging it. And by doing that, he's taking control of it. Then comes the challenge. He tells anyone who believes he's not ready to step into the ring and prove it. That line flips the dynamic. He's no longer defending himself. He's inviting confrontation. And that's when the situation becomes more complex. Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso come down to the ring, and immediately, you can sense that this isn't just about opposition. There's familiarity here. There's history. But there's also disagreement. Jimmy speaks first. He says they heard what Fatu said on Monday, and he doesn't dismiss it. In fact, he leans into it. He tells Fatu he can have all of that and more. But then he shifts direction. He warns him not to come at Roman. He uses a football analogy, calling Roman QB1 and saying he fumbled. It's a subtle way of saying that challenging Roman isn't just risky, it's potentially premature. Jimmy's message is layered. On the surface, it sounds supportive. He talks about growth, about leveling up, about learning. But underneath that, there's a clear attempt to redirect Fatu's path. He even offers an alternative. He tells Fatu to run the play with him, to join the family, to align instead of confront. That's a strategic move, because if Fatu joins them, he's no longer a threat. He becomes part of the system. Jimmy also emphasizes lifestyle. He says nobody else is going to give Fatu what they can. That's not just about success in the ring. That's about belonging, security, and identity. Then Jey Uso steps in, and his tone is noticeably different. Where Jimmy tries to guide, Jey challenges. He says it's too late for all of that. He points out that Fatu already stepped up, that he already spoke his mind. And because of that, there's no going back. Jey frames the situation as a point of no return. He tells Fatu he's in the deep end now, and the only question left is whether he can swim. That's not reassurance. That's pressure. Jey takes it even further. He says if Fatu wants respect from Roman, he needs to walk right up to him, look him in the eye, and get ready for war. That line aligns more with Fatu's original stance. It reinforces confrontation rather than avoidance. So now you have two perspectives from the Usos, one offering a path of alignment and patience, the other pushing toward direct conflict and proving ground. And before Fatu can respond to that divide, another voice enters the conversation. Solo Sikoa's music hits, and immediately, the tone shifts again. Solo doesn't ease into it. He questions everything he's hearing. He accuses Jimmy and Jey of lying. And then he brings up the past. He asks where they were 2 years ago when no one wanted Fatu. That line is critical because it reframes loyalty. It suggests that Jimmy and Jey are speaking now, but they weren't there when it mattered. Solo positions himself as the one who brought Fatu into WWE. Whether that's interpreted literally or symbolically, the message is clear. He sees himself as the foundation of Fatu's current position. Then he warns Fatu not to listen to them. Solo shifts the focus back to Roman Reigns. He asks Fatu if he wants to beat Roman, if he wants to be champion. And then he offers a solution. He says he can make it happen. But there's a condition. Fatu can't do it alone. Solo emphasizes the need for an army. And more importantly, he claims to have one. This introduces a different kind of strategy. Where Jimmy offered family and Jey offered challenge, Solo offers power through numbers. It's not about proving yourself individually. It's about leveraging strength collectively. And just when that message starts to settle, Tama Tonga steps in. He takes the mic, and his approach is more dismissive than persuasive. He questions why they're even having this conversation. He calls Fatu a lost cause. That's a sharp contrast to everything that's been said so far. While others see potential, Tama sees limitation. He goes further. He doubts Fatu's ability to beat Roman. And then he brings it down to a more immediate level. He says Fatu can't even beat Solo. That's a direct challenge, but it's also an insult. And this is where everything escalates. Fatu doesn't respond with words. He responds with action. He hits a super kick on Tama Tonga. That moment is important because it breaks the cycle of debate. Up until this point, everyone has been trying to influence Fatu's decision through conversation. But Fatu makes it clear that he's done listening. He then takes the mic again, and his message is focused. He says the only person he should be talking to now is Roman Reigns. That line cuts through all the noise. It dismisses every offer, every warning, every suggestion. Then he addresses the doubt directly. He asks if they think he can't beat them. And finally, he makes his decision. He says to line it all up. Me versus you tonight. That challenge is immediate. It's not about building towards something weeks from now. It's about proving something right now. And that's what makes this segment stand out. Because at its core, this isn't just about who Fatu is going to align with. It's about how he defines himself in a system where everyone else is trying to define him first. Jimmy offers structure. Jey offers pressure. Solo offers power. Tama offers doubt. And Fatu listens to all of it. He acknowledges the criticism. He recognizes the options. But in the end, he chooses confrontation on his own terms. That's a significant character moment, because instead of rejecting the idea that he's not ready, he accepts it, and then challenges anyone to prove it. That's not confidence in the traditional sense. That's something more complex. It's self-awareness combined with defiance. And in wrestling storytelling, that combination can be very compelling. Now the question becomes, what does this mean moving forward? If Fatu wins, it validates his decision to stand alone. It reinforces the idea that he doesn't need an army or a system. If he loses, it could reinforce everything that's been said about him not being ready. Either outcome pushes the story forward, but in very different directions. And that's what makes this situation so interesting. Because for the first time in this segment, the focus isn't just on Roman Reigns as the end goal. It's on Jacob Fatu proving something to himself before he gets there. And that's a layer that adds depth to the entire narrative. So now it comes down to this. Not whether Fatu wants the title, Not whether he needs it, but whether he can take the first step toward it on his own. And that's where the real test begins. Do you think Jacob Fatu made the right choice by rejecting every offer and stepping into this challenge alone? Or should he have aligned with one of them before going after Roman Reigns?